Ladies and gentlemen, your boy is back. The bounce is back. The rail is back. Ladies and gentlemen, your boy is back. The Almighty Dice Man, aka the Z is Silent, head of the SmackDown Penitentiary, and my co-host, my normal co-host, he's not here today. So we had to call up the temp agency. We said, listen, we need a temp guard for the SmackDown Penitentiary. So they gave me Dan the Man from AEW. Dan the Man, how are you today?
I am doing fantastic. It is a lovely Saturday afternoon. We are here. We're going to talk some pro wrestling. We got some SmackDown on deck. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to this, we are true to this. I just want to say,
welcome to the SmackDown Penitentiary.
Welcome. So, SmackDown last night, I like to think that I like to think that it did everything it was supposed to do, right? So, I'm gonna start off like this. I'm gonna give it a B, and as we go along with the night, I will drop my grades for everything, but overall, I will give it a B plus. But starting the night off, we got Logan Paul. We got Cody Rhodes, pretty much, doing his whole champ thing. Well,
it's a shtick at this point.
It is a shtick. It is definitely a shtick. And I will say that the crowd was crazy. Still very disappointing considering what France did. France showed up America, and this crowd didn't catch on until later on. But
it wasn't even a sold out crowd. Did you notice that? A lot of the upper deck was pretty open. You could see a lot of blue seats.
You see, I thought it was because Cody brought the cameraman to come to the side of the stage area. So I'm thinking like, oh, it must be packed there. But I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. But we get Cody. He gets introduced by Nick Aldis, and then proceeds to introduce his opponent for King and Queen of the Ring, who just happens to be Logan Paul, which is a head scratcher to a lot of people. It's just as much of a head scratcher as when he got a title match against Roman Reigns. Like that was weird. This is equally weird in my book. But your thoughts on this segment here?
I mean, it was a decent promo. Logan Paul, he can catch some serious heat, and I think that's great. I mean, he's pretty good in the ring, but I mean, overall, this is one of those where Logan Paul is a special attraction. I think they're kind of at a crossroad right now. Let's see what I did there, where you have Cody and you don't really know what to do with Cody for the time being, because you just put the belt on him and you don't want to bury any talent. And you just had AJ kind of put him over at this point, and there's no real formidable SmackDown opponent that you could say, all right, Cody and X person for the championship, start building a feud. You got 3 weeks. There's really nobody for it. And Logan Paul, we haven't really seen much of him. So this made some sense. And, he's going to catch heat. People are going to watch. They're going to get eyeballs on the product simply because people love to hate on Logan Paul.
This is true. I will say, if I'm looking currently as I'm looking at the rosters for SmackDown, it's hard to see any top heel as I'm looking.
Right.
They got way too many faces. It's way too many people that are likable right now. You can't put Solo in there. It's too soon. He has to continue to build up his character and build up this reiteration of the bloodline. LA Knight isn't a heel.
Nope.
Kevin Owens isn't a heel. Bobby Lashley isn't a heel, and he's quote unquote hurt. I use air quotes with that because I don't believe that he is hurt. I just think that they looked at the bracket and realized that Lashley was up against Tama Tonga and in his first match, and you kind of want to keep the bloodline strong, but you don't want to make Bobby look weak to this new guy. So what do? He's got an injury. You can't put Baron Corbin there. He's not believable anymore. Nobody has seen Apollo choose like it. Andrade just got a video package. You can't put AJ Styles there again because you just did it, but that roster is super thinned out. So
it is
in the sense of moving Cody to SmackDown, kind of was a great move. Like Raw has the heavy hitters in the main event scene, but if I want good mid card matches, I think SmackDown rules it. But if I'm talking about main events on a weekly basis, I think that Monday Night Raw has it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, if you look back to Backlash France, I mean, some of the best matches on that card were the SmackDown talent. It was the SmackDown roster for the most part that put on the bangers. I mean, the opener was a banger. The main event was a banger. I mean, those are the matches that come to mind. Even the women's tag team title match, which some people like, some people thought, I thought it was pretty good for the most part, except, you saw the
it was a little hiccup. It was a little hiccup. Maybe
it was wonky.
2 hiccups there, but and that's just a thing of, it could be a language barrier. I mean, wrestling is a universal language for most, but you also have somebody as green as Jade in there who might not be as technically sound as far as calling spots. So and that comes with experience, and people can't continue to criticize Jade Cargill for this if they can't do the shit. Like, listen, I will never say somebody can't really do something. I would say I'm not a fan of it, but I took bumps before at the Briscoe brothers freaking farm, and I will say I did an elbow drop off the top rope. There was nobody under me, and I hurt like hell, and I said, you know what, wrestling is not for me. That mat hurt, so kudos to the people that do it, regardless if it's clean or not. So she wrestled her ass off, and I can't wait to get into Jade Cargill's match, because I definitely think that her match was her best wrestling match to date in WWE, probably overall since she's been on our TV screens, but a little bit more on that later. So Cody and Logan Paul pretty much go into a spar of, who really has the story, like who's got the story. Is the story about you? And the way that Logan Paul flips, finished the story, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was genius. And this is why he is in the position that he's in, because like you just said, he is quick-witted, right? And he literally he flips everything and says, yeah, we debuted at WrestleMania, but nobody was talking about you. They were talking about me. That's a lie. Nobody was talking about Logan Paul like as much as Cody Rhodes.
No.
It was Cody Rhodes and then Logan Paul. But the way that he flips it, I like it. I do like it. I do like that kind of brash attitude when somebody, clearly is wrong, but they can flip it.
Right.
And he tells, I'm the longest reigning champ on the brand right now. And then, Cody does what he does. And Cody's a really good retaliator, right? He's a really good retaliator, but he's not a good initiator, but he can retaliate pretty well. But he holds his own. This is a great promo between both of them. He does tell him that, I'm going to be a Grand Slam champion. I kind of think that WWE will want to lean into Cody as a Grand Slam champion.
Absolutely.
But the problem is, you got SummerSlam in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard anybody say, let's go to vacation in Cleveland. What's so good about Cleveland?
Not a
Joe Kim Noah. Nobody like who wants to go to Cleveland, right? But the dilemma is, do you have Logan Paul walk into his hometown of Cleveland with the belt? So that's the dilemma. So I think going, and it sucks because us as intelligent wrestling fans, shout out to Mike Knox coining the phrase, we all anticipate a DQ finish to keep everybody safe and strong. Right. And that's the gift and the curse about the internet, and like having the curtain being pulled back because we know too much right? Like if this was 1999, there wasn't no internet, there wasn't no dirt sheets. It was just watch and see.
Right.
And we can't just watch and see. We didn't even think about predicting
No.
what would happen for the foreseeable future. It's
No.
what you got on that week. Oh, can't wait to see what's on next week. We can't really do that in this day and age. So it's like everybody's an analyst. Everybody's an analyst. Everybody's a critic. Everybody's a star match rater. Everybody is in this profession, and none of us get paid for it.
Yeah.
But we would like to.
Yeah. I mean, but my thing, how do you say that Cody should be the first Grand Slam champion when you have a guy who is Mr. WWE like John Cena? How are you not going to give that distinction to John Cena on a final run? You know what I mean?
Right. He's no. So he'll be a first time Grand Slam champion because he's never had that. So, and that's the last of the Infinity Stones that he needs on his WWE gauntlet.
Right.
So I think that they will eventually give that to him, but I think that it's also too soon. It's way too soon. We're still on this WrestleMania high. He just came off of a good match with AJ. Don't do this. Don't. If anything, this is a showcase for Logan Paul.
Yep.
He's saying that he wants to be doing this full time. Mm-hmm. And you had a great match with Roman. You had a great match with Orton and KO. Now Cody Rhodes I anticipate it being a great match as well. So I think this is just to see, where he fits. And just like Cody ended the promo, where does he fit on the team of WWE? Like, I thought that was a good analogy, but I also hate it at the same time, because that's another thing of in the sense of he pulled back the curtain, right? This is a competitive profession that he's in. Yes, the company that you work for, yes, you are a team. Mm-hmm. But you're also competitors. So you kind of, maybe that's just me being a nitpicker, but I felt like he didn't have to say that, because if I'm a champ, you're a champ, but you're the champ that's below me. Like, you're not my teammate. Yeah. You're not my teammate. You're beneath me because you don't have what I have. So I just think maybe that was a nitpick for me, but I did like the overall segment. To start it off, the crowd was definitely into it the whole time. And we'll get the contract signing next week from these two guys. So I think that if Logan can keep Cody at bay as far as promos, and not really outshine him, but just give him a little nudge, help him out a little bit. Like, you don't want a Miz and LA Knight situation again. And it could possibly happen with Logan Paul and Cody Rhodes, with Logan getting the best of Cody Rhodes. And That's the one thing that you don't want to do. Yeah. But I definitely think that this should be an interesting episode, but that's next week. Getting into the
what do you think is the over-under, since it's in Jacksonville, that an AEW champ breaks out?
Oh, it's got it. It's there. There will be a reference. There will be a reference in what Cody always does is, I spent some time in Jacksonville. We all know what that is. So and then that'll lead into the AEW chants, or it'll be the other way around. And they're chanting AEW. It's like, I spent some time in Jacksonville for a couple of years, some goofy shit. But it doesn't. I don't think that it'll phase them too much. I don't really think that too much of AEW chants really phase WWE anymore. I think they kind of embrace it, and I think they more so troll at this point with any AEW references. So they kind of give the people what they want, in that sense. Moving on to the first match of the night, which I thought was a really good banger of a match. It's a good opening, not a banger, but a good opening. Good way to start the night as far as matches go. And we got the ladies. We got two ladies of the Samoan family tree, and Nia Jax and Naomi. And the one problem about this match, Naomi could never wear that outfit again. She can never wear that outfit again because it took so much. It took so much away from the good action that it was. Like Nia made her look good. She made Nia look good. But every single move, it was you gotta pull your titties up. Pull your titties up. I'm like, oh God. And then she hit the moonsault and it popped out.
Oh man.
Popped out. Listen, I just had to rewatch it because I was like, I was going through making sure I didn't miss anything because I was multitasking while I was watching SmackDown. So I went back and watched it, and I'm like, yeah, that's a boob. That's a boob. Her boob fell out. That's a boob. Right?
Oh man.
But I will say she stuck through that thing like a trooper. She didn't let it. You know. Oh no! Stop.
I
accidentally touched my ear. That wasn't 3 seconds. If she didn't have to do that, this match would have been amazing. But I will say, Nia, I think it's hard to say who's going to be the queen of the ring, and I feel like Nia's work should be rewarded with being the queen of the ring. But it's so hard because for some strange reason, I feel like, now, what is the better analogy? Is the king of the ring for making budding stars become stars?
I would
or
say
is it for establishment of dominance.
I mean,
because we got Zelina Vega as queen, and it did absolutely nothing for her career. We got Xavier Woods as King Xavier. It did nothing for his career. So, is this the point where, because we're under the Triple H era, does it actually mean something again?
I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping that's the direction they want to go here. I mean, here's the thing. I've been very critical of the WWE product, and for many years under Vince McMahon, it has not been good. And a lot of the issues that I had with a lot of the WWE is every match felt so WWE. And I think there's a good thing going on here with a little bit of a roster split and a shakeup, to where if you go and you look, not everyone just looks like the prototypical WWE guy. Now you have some indie talent in there that's in the company, and now you have some, guys that are from other places, and you have some actual, NXT guys that have come up. So it's kind of that new wave, and it gives it a fresh vibe and a fresh feel. And I think this is where Triple H could really shine. And I'm hoping that's what happens here. But I think they have a shot here with reintroducing this King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring to actually
I agree. We got executive consultant, so I don't know what he wants to rant about. Is it the boob? Is it the boob? You want to rant about the
boob? That shit took so much away. I wanted to enjoy this match, and I thought they were doing a very good job in this match, right? And you knew Naomi was going to lose. That she gave you good chances of thinking that she might pull it off. But every single time something happens, whoop, 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 whoop. Every time. I'm like, you should have known better at this point. You should have, and you didn't. I'm repeating myself like I'm Dan the man here, because that's how I felt.
Listen. I can only imagine if they were still doing Total Divas. I can only imagine what Jimmy had to say to her backstage or at home. I told you couldn't put all that ass in them shorts. He told her before, and she still came out there. Told you can't have them titties out like that. Now look at you. You got a $3,000 fine. They get fines like that, so she can never wear that again.
No,
I mean, I'm all for wardrobe malfunctions as long as it's tasteful. It's okay. It's okay. The perv in me noticed it. I was like, that's a boob. I'm sorry. That was just. It's a women's match. What am I supposed to do? I love all these.
Good
women.
match though.
What?
I think that was Naomi's best one-on-one match since she's returned.
I agree.
Nia, I don't want her to win Queen of the Ring, but she
I don't
deserves
think it's
something
happening.
after having such a spectacular return. Having that great match in Elimination Chamber, having that great show in the Royal Rumble, not being on the WrestleMania card at all. So this might be her get back.
I think I like Nia is okay, because disclaimer, I'm a Nia mark, so she could do no wrong. But you're absolutely right. She does deserve something. If you're not going to give her a title, she's putting people over. She's wrestling really good matches, really safe matches that nobody's talking about how much of a safe wrestler that she's been and taking care of wrestlers thus far since she's come back. But this image, putting the crown on her head. Come on. If you're not, if we're going to get Bianca and Jade as champions, then give us Nia as, if we're talking about representation, right? This is the whole big thing amongst the community now is representation. Ain't too many big girls looking like Nia Jax and winning shit. So I would say give it to her. But I just feel like they're going to give it to Tiffy time if we're talking about being for budding stars. I feel
And
like
she needs it.
That's where she doesn't though. She doesn't.
I think would make her more interesting as a character.
The thing that irks me about Tiffy time is I can still see her counting her steps. And it sucks because she's definitely a good wrestler, but she's definitely more so on the performer side than the wrestler side. She can give you theatrics. And I think that's why she got called up so soon, because she can give you those theatrics. And let's be clear, this is still a show. This is a grand stage of a show on national television, and it's aired in almost every country. So, hey, blonde hair, big boobs, luscious lips. Oh, put her on TV.
And she's a gymnast too. I mean, that's just, she does the flip. She's very athletic. I mean, she's essentially if you want to start hitting a lot of the independent guys, the IWC, and you want to start hitting a lot of taking that AEW crowd away, they like the flips. They like the show. So Tiffy time is exactly the type of talent that you want to start showcasing.
Now, this comment here, at this point, I've given up on women in the bloodline. I think that this iteration of the bloodline that Solo is running could, if WWE has an interest, they'll snatch up those damn Tonga twins. You put the Tonga twins in that iteration of Solo Sikoa's bloodline, chef's kiss. But then if you wanted to bring Nia, she would go with Romans along with Naomi. Or Tamina could come out of retirement, but I doubt it. Nobody's checking for Tamina. So yeah, definitely give us Naomi to be by her husband's side. So I just think that in this stage of the bloodline, I think the time has passed. But I've been wrong before. I wouldn't mind being wrong again. But in this situation, I would love to be wrong. You know what? I want to, before we move on to the next Queen of the Ring match, I want to take a look at the bracket, because the bracket is just so... it's not good.
It's not.
It's not good. It's pretty predictable until you get to the final four. And that's what I didn't like about their side of things. Who didn't see all these victories, right? The problem is I am irked that we're getting Jade versus Jax so early. But this just lets me know we're going to get, Jade Jax 2, Jade Jax 3, with maybe the culmination at a Survivor Series, a Rumble, or a Mania, right? That's okay. So series of matches are fine. But in this sense of, this would be the groundwork for the start of the feud, right? Like the The Rumble spot, more so foundation. Now this is the groundwork. Or is it the groundwork first and then the foundation? I don't know. But anyway, this is the begin. This is this is what the seeds have been grown from the Rumble spot. I think Nia gets her get back. And I think that Nia proceeds. Because Jade doesn't need the Queen of the Ring. She has a title belt. Bianca doesn't need Queen of the Ring. She has a title belt.
But this would also be Jade's first loss. And are you going to have Jade lose her first match on a SmackDown? I could see Jade honestly going to the Queen of the Ring and losing in the finals to either a Tiffany Stratton or Bianca Belair. And then that's how it starts the breakup with Belair and, goes on to SummerSlam.
But they don't need to break up. Like, I don't understand the thing. Like, why do tag teams have to break up? And I don't think that Jade and Bianca have that type of character for either one of them, because so far since Jade has come here and to WWE, they've been nothing but empowering. Like, it's a bunch of positivity, and it's no black on black crime, so to speak, with them. They're not holding each other down, they're building each other up. And to have them get the belts and then start a breakup, I just think it's in a sense of, girl, you can go do your thing. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna go do my thing. You can support me. So,
but their goal should be the same. I mean,
the goal is still the same. But if Jade does beat Nia, we already know that. Okay, so Stratton's going to beat Meechin, unfortunately.
Right.
Belair had a really good match against Candice LeRae, in which I will say that Candice, and it's not even good in the sense of Bianca, because Bianca is Bianca. She's going to give you good matches. I thought it was a good match because Candice LeRae actually wrestled and looked believable, as opposed to the goofy shit that she was giving us on Monday Night Raw. I actually liked how methodical she was in focusing on Belair's knee. But so just predicting this, Stratton goes over Meechin. So Tiffany's gonna beat Belair because Bianca doesn't need it, right? But is that stunning Tiffany's? Is that stunning her growth as a character? Like, this is the dilemma that we're at. All four of these women are going to you have to do it in a way that it makes all wrestlers look strong.
I don't see Tiffany Stratton being Bianca Belair at all.
Yeah.
And somebody put it in, I think it's the very next one, or one of these. I see Nia Jax actually beating Jade Cargill through some kind of shenanigans, but it's going to happen because they're going to showcase that Nia has more experience than Jade Cargill, and that's what happened. I see Tiffany Stratton taking the L to Bianca Belair, and Nia Jax beating Bianca Belair after that. That's what I'm seeing. As we know, it could go either way, but I feel like this is Nia's tournament to lose, and I think that Tiffany Stratton is going to win the Women's Money in the Bank. That's what I'm looking at right now.
I would agree with that. Unless somebody else comes. I mean, there's nobody really on the Raw side that has.
Yeah, can you show the Raw side?
Yeah, let me bring it up really quick. I don't think there's anybody on the Raw side that has the momentum that Tiffy does.
Right. I just think for Tiffany to not get to the finals, it's just mind-blowing to me. Like, Tiffany could even cheat to beat Belair. That's just... I just don't think it'd be a good idea for her not to make it to the finals.
All sides sucks. Look at it. What?
The Raw side sucks because it has Lyra Valkyria and Io Sky, who's great. Never say anything about Io Sky, but at the same time, she still is a little lackluster compared to everybody else that's hard hitting in SmackDown and Raw. Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega. I mean, I hate Zoe Stark. Oh damn, Dice hit the nail.
Is there a Zoe Stank?
Oh,
is there a Zoe Stank here?
Your biggest star of all of them right now is Io Sky, who probably is going to. Well, no. Shit, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Shayna Baszler.
Because I said Nia's going to win, right? So the only other thing I could possibly see is Bianca going in for SmackDown and Raw being Io Sky and Bianca winning. But she shouldn't win. Like it should. When I look at that, Nia is the best person to win the Money in the Bank. I mean, not Money in the Bank, the Queen of the Ring. Nia's the best person to win.
Tell me you don't want to see the Queen of the Sky against Tiffy Time. Those the two beautiful moonsaults, just like straight up.
I wouldn't mind seeing it, but the two heels, and I'm just not going to be as invested as I could be with it. Io Sky looks like she's a strong fit for the Raw side, but I can't see her and Nia going at it. I mean, it's a possibility.
unless we're going to wait, Baszler and Vega, who won?
That's tonight or tomorrow.
Okay, so I expect Baszler to go over. What if we get Baszler on one side, Nia on the other? They already have a story; they could do that. But
then that's an easy Nia win. But I don't see Baszler beating Io Sky. And right now, who's Damage Control feuding with on Raw?
Wait. Why would it be tonight or tomorrow?
Because
they're doing two matches over the weekend.
Time constraints for these matches, 2 for women, 2 for men, are on live events. I was upset at the men's one because it was Kofi and Ray, and I just felt like that would have been a banger to watch on Monday Night Raw instead of throwing it away on a live event. But that's where we're at.
That's really dumb.
You also have to think, what has a good ring to it? Like Queen Baszler, Queen Shayna, Queen Io, Queen Valkyrie. Like they're going to try to give them that moniker. Like
Shayna Baszler is already the Queen of Spades, so it's not hard for her, to fit into that. But the thing is, as much as they try, and they've been trying for 4 or 5 years now, Shayna Baszler is not main roster material like that, unless she's a what do you call him? Not a subpar, supportive character, like with Nia Jax. I think the Nia Shayna is a good way to go, but I just don't see Shayna beating Io Sky. And honestly speaking, it wouldn't surprise me that has Zelina Vega beat this Shayna Baszler. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So your guess is as good as mine. The Raw side is my side, though. I'm Monday Night Raw. Just like our draft, I represent Raw. So I'm going for whoever goes in there for Monday Night Raw. But right now, when I look at it, Dice is right.
This is some booty.
I don't understand the big thing with Lyra's Valkyria. I think she's just there because she's solid, but at the same time, it's just as a favor to Becky.
She's trash.
She's not trash. She's just not interesting.
I like this. I didn't think about this. I did not think about this, Shay. That is a really, really great point.
That's a good point that they can build off of, even though she's going to probably still beat Tiffany Stratton, but they could have her lose to Tiffany because of that. But I feel like she just did that because she knew that her and Candice LeRae were only going to have a 1-segment match, meaning they weren't going to have commercials. And you notice WWE on Raw and SmackDown, all their matches have at least one commercial. But all of the ones that don't have one commercial always involve Candice LeRae. And I know Bianca and Candice are pretty close, and I think Bianca was just doing that to make Candice look strong to try to help put her over, even though she was going to get the W. That's my personal opinion, but Cap could be completely right on this. Shout out to Cap for watching this from work. Shout out to me for doing this from work.
Appreciate that. Yeah, moving along with
You see, I'm so busy.
Moving along, you were just slopping chicken in our ear before we got on air. Moving along, we got a backstage segment with Carmelo, Hayes, and Baron Corbin, and he basically gives him like, "Hey, what round did you get drafted in?" Like, no, you finally got called up. Talking to him like he's never even been on the main roster, which I thought was pretty funny. And I'm kind of digging this character they're giving Carmelo. And which
I agree.
People are trying to give. Let me give you a little bit of advice. And you seen the last guy try to give me advice? He got hurt. Yeah, you should probably duck out of the tournament too. But we get Baron Corbin versus Carmelo Hayes, in which Baron Corbin has taken this Dolph Ziggler-esque role as a veteran who pretty much can work with anybody. Like big, small, fat, skinny. He can put him over. Dan and Man, your thoughts on this match before I get into it?
I mean, it was pretty decent. It wasn't a barn burner by any means. I wouldn't give it a 5-star rating. I mean, Carmelo can definitely go. Baron Corbin seems to have gone through this renaissance of a character change, and I think it's kind of fitting of him. I do miss a little bit of the End of Days character that he had before, but you need to reinvent yourself. It's really still shocking to see him as a face, because he's always been a heel, and it's still hard to take him seriously as a face. But like you said, he has come as this, like, I am the gatekeeper backstage, I am the Dolph Ziggler, and he's going to beat some respect into you. Listen, it's Carmelo's time. It will always be Carmelo's time. Melo don't miss, and I want a little better for Corbin though. But this was a good showcase. No matter how you shake it, Carmelo is definitely the future of the company.
He definitely looks comfortable being back on the main roster. G, I would definitely agree with you. He definitely looks revigorated. Hi, Charmaine. I will say that it was a lot of good spots in this match. Like when he went to do the end of days and he spun Carmelo, and then Carmelo just like pushed his head so he couldn't grab him and slam him. I thought that was a really good counter. It was a counter that I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the smoothest moves in professional wrestling when it's done right, and I think the only person that can do it right is Corbin. I've seen different reiterations of it, but no, nobody does it like Corbin. He's owned that move. It's definitely one of the most favorite moves of any wrestler going today for at least the past. How long has he been on the roster? 10 years?
Yeah, a long time.
8 years.
Long time. 8 years. That was my first guess. Carmelo gets the W as expected. Corbin didn't need to be a king again, like King Corbin. I thought King Corbin had a good ring to it. So, it's just, who does the moniker King fit with? King Gunther.
Of course.
It's for his taking. It's for his taking. Of course, I'm Jay Uso marked to the death of me, but King Us, no, it don't. King Jay doesn't give a ring to it. King Dragunov, maybe, but it's really all about Gunther. Like this men's tournament is all about Gunther. I would be surprised if somebody from SmackDown wins the men's side of things. I just don't think so. King Orton,
no need.
King Tama Tonga, maybe. King Tonga, I don't know. I don't know. EC, your thoughts?
One, I don't like Baron Corbin as a face.
I love King Lashley. That would have been great.
I think King Lashley would have worked, but King Corbin. I'm sorry, Corbin is not really a face. This doesn't work for me. Melo, I think is a favorite. I think he can do wonders with that gimmick, considering the fact he's new in this persona he has right now, where he's above everybody else. But I do believe, like you, that Raw is going to take this. The Raw side is going to take the King of the Ring. Like I think the SmackDown side is going to take the Queen of the Ring. I don't know what's going to be Gunther. We need to look at those. Oh
no, it's Gunther.
The brackets again.
Oh, it's Gunther.
It's definitely Gunther.
It's Gunther.
It's definitely Gunther. Yo. As soon as he grabbed the microphone, I said, "Listen, he's about to enter the Royal Rumble. I mean, the King of the Ring, and it
declared himself.
Yeah, it fits him. Oh, we forgot King LA Knight, King Knight.
Yeah.
No.
No.
King Escobar has a really nice ring to it. I think
I can see
King
him
Santos
in the
or King
outfit,
Escobar.
but I can't see him making it all the way. He's either wrestling tonight or tomorrow at the live event as well. Santos and LA Knight. Especially in a live event, I don't see Santos Escobar picking up the W. So let's just erase him right now. King Kofi. I think.
Nah, bro. Kofi's not beating Gunther.
New Day has been
the ring general. King General.
Kofi's on his own, and he needs something to build momentum.
I mean, listen, we know
whoever wins between Kofi and Rey Mysterio, I'm looking now, is going to face Gunther. So that takes them out. So scratch that idea.
Wait, whoever wins what?
Kofi and Mysterio, they go face Gunther on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Sorry,
they're done.
Ignore everything I said in the last 30 seconds.
The dilemma here, right, is Jay Uso versus Dragunov.
That's going to be a
Do we want
must-see
to see?
match.
Do we want to see another Dragunov and Gunther match for the 30th time?
It'll be the
Yes
first time
and
on the main
no.
roster, so WWE is going to act like it's almost completely brand new.
Yeah.
You know what I really can't stand about this tournament is the fact that I feel like all these matches that are about to happen next week on Raw and SmackDown, they should just had it on the PLE and do King of the Ring like they originally did it on the when they was in the pay-per-view format in the 90s. Just have them wrestle 3 matches. It just think it would have been made more sense. And look at these matches that you are having some next week on Raw and SmackDown, like the Nia Jax and Jade Cargill, like Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair, like Dragunov versus Jey Uso. All that would have been great for the PLE as opposed to giving away on Raw and SmackDown.
But
Shay, I'm so disappointed. What?
I don't know for sure that Jey Uso's beating Dragunov.
Yes, he is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, he is.
I could see Dragunov and Gunther at King of the Ring PLE. I could see Jey Uso, but see, Jey Uso.
We get Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga? That's way too far-fetched, but that would be interesting. Just saying.
For the King of the Ring?
Yes.
Tama Tonga is going to get eliminated by Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
there,
no,
so
no.
Orton and Carmelo are going at it next.
Oh, I feel so bad for. Yeah, I feel so bad for Carmelo.
Look at Chris's face.
Orton's going to beat Melo.
I don't know about that.
Maybe he doesn't because he called out Tama Tonga,
which is why I think it's going to end up being Orton and Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga might be in the.
He might cost Orton his match, so he can't get to him.
The problem is if you have Gunther and Tama Tonga at the end, then that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
That's not going to work.
I don't know. I can't call it, which is a good thing. I can't call it.
It's a great problem to have. Yeah. It's a really great problem to have. I think there's going to be.
They have to wrestle They have to wrestle twice instead of 3 times. That's the only issue.
Do they?
Yeah, because if you look at it.
Oh yeah, next week and then because it's in 2 weeks.
Unless they have the finals for Raw on Raw and the finals for SmackDown. I'll be pissed off if they do that though.
Well, it looks like Priest doesn't have a match for King and Queen of the Ring.
Not yet, but I mean, if you had the King of the Ring finals, just the one match, then you have a lot of open spots. So you need to have a World Championship match. But who is Damian Priest going to wrestle for it is the question. Because what baby faces do they have on Raw that can challenge him right now?
Everybody's on the shelf.
Yeah, they have a lot of injured people.
Raw has a lot of injured people. I think that they are teetering on the pull of Finn Balor versus Damian Priest, which I think is money. But you can't break the Judgment Day up without Rhea Ripley being there. Like, I just don't think that that's a smart move. So what, she comes back and we just nothing?
Unfortunately, Damian Priest is going to be world champion longer than he should or longer than I would want. He's going to win it. He's going to have it to at least SummerSlam, and it's going to be him and Finn Balor, in my opinion. Actually, no. They might break up by Clash of the Castle. They might do that.
When is Clash? July?
Clash of the Castle. Yeah, it's in June, actually. July is Money in the Bank.
Okay.
In Canada. Because they're not back in the United States for a PLE until August.
As you know what?
Every country is going to do us up.
I just want to see what Raw, as far as their roster, what it looks like. What are we working with? Because okay, Final Testament. Braun
has no direction right now. Braun can easily challenge Damian Priest.
Yeah. Easily. Braun Breaker hasn't appeared. Carlito's in the mix somewhere with Judgment Day.
Or Rey Mysterio, not Judgment Day.
What's
Oh, yeah, he is with Judgment Day. Ivar. I'm joking.
Possibly.
Nah, he
ain't possibly. They've been trying to do something with him.
WWE Superstars maybe, but not in no damn. Odyssey Joe.
Karrion Kross? Odyssey still hasn't come.
My man O is just going to attack Damian Priest out of nowhere and says, "You want to see somebody that doesn't deserve a championship? Try me."
I mean, you could do Sammy. You could do Sammy.
Oh yeah, the WWE
You got to get
World
Sheamus has got
Heavyweight
to cut.
Champion versus the Intercontinental Championship. They just mirroring exactly what they have on SmackDown.
They could.
They
If you want
could,
lazy
but no,
booking,
they're already in
they
a triple
could.
threat match. Big Bronson Reed, and Chad Gable.
This is true.
Wait,
Sheamus
that's the Raw
could.
roster?
Sheamus got to cut weight. Yeah.
Sheamus, each week he's lost a little weight.
Yeah, he's definitely shedding it. So
maybe he does. Weight.
Yeah, the shedding is that's not the Karrion Kross could, because we all know he'll give us a great vignette. He'll give us some good montages. And
he'll give you a good backstage.
Then get squashed in 3 minutes.
A backstage produced that exactly, and then lose.
Yeah.
AOP won a match recently. I was so surprised to see him win. I was like, "Oh, this is how it happens when they have their arms in it." I never knew that.
Moving on.
I think they beat the New Catch Republic or something like that.
Did they?
Yeah, they beat them. I think like 2 SmackDowns ago.
That's unfortunate.
Speaking of losers, when are we talking about the Street Profits?
Real quick, I just want to bring up that picture. That's a beautiful picture.
You know what? I've never seen a bad picture of Jade Cargill. And I'm not just saying that because she should be my wife. I've never seen a bad picture of Jade Cargill.
Her entrance is just pure
production.
She looks like a big freaking deal because she is.
It was like that in AEW too. It was real. Her entrance was very, very good.
Yeah,
I didn't think to this magnitude, right? Like every week it gets a little bit better and better.
Well, you know, and this is not me hating on AEW by any means, but I mean, it's WWE's production.
AEW, they gave you the blueprint, but WWE just has more of the
WWE took it and made it better. But WWE, especially under Triple H's reign, always does that with AEW. Anything I see AEW does, WWE just takes it, copies it, and tries to improve upon it. And
like the Iron Claw freaking ads all over the arena.
I thought I was watching Dynamite there.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what the hell?
Well, it's better than Dude Wipes. So
I like Dude Wipes. Y'all go get y'all some Dude Wipes. Man.
No, I like
really
it in my bathroom, but I don't like it.
They're really nice. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be ashamed.
Look at my wife.
Does her husband know that?
Something before we even start talking about it. I'm gonna say something. This was her best one-on-one match I've ever seen her have.
I said that in the chat last night.
No, I didn't read that. This was her
best one-on-one
You are
lying. Yeah, he just want to say he was the first person to say it. But I already said that in the beginning of the show.
I thought she did 100% fantastic, and people hate her on her with her last match with Chris Statlander in AEW. I thought that was really good. But this match with Piper Niven, honestly speaking, if it wasn't for AJ and Orton, this would be match of the night for me.
I have to agree.
What? Yes,
I would have to
Nia
agree.
And Naomi had a very good match, but it took away because Naomi had to constantly fix her wardrobe, and Nia had to move herself in position so many times for Naomi. Like when she took a disaster kick, she had to move up like 5 feet because Naomi wasn't going to make it. When she got put up on the top rope for that top rope Hurricane Rana, you see Nia visibly lifting, and then they try to play it off by saying, "Oh, Naomi was straight." Like, no, you can see her struggling.
Wait. You're saying.
Then when she did the Hurricanrana, she was in a powerbomb position for a while because they had to make sure they were completely set. Then when she did her split leg and moonsault, you see Nia inching over so much. And all because Naomi had to keep doing something that no man wanted to see her drop. Yeah. But yes, I agree, Cap,
I agree with
I'm
this,
a big Piper Niven fan.
It was like a 5-minute match. It was short. What do you mean?
Stop being
a good match. A good match doesn't have to be long for it to be good. In the sense of, okay, so Dan, look at it in this sense, right? We have somebody so green in Jade, in which she's just been portrayed as a powerhouse. Nobody can match her. She's unstoppable, right? But
she's the Bill Goldberg of female wrestling.
No, because she automatically did more moves than Bill Goldberg ever has in his entire career. Man. Let's get that out of the way. But in the sense of you have somebody who has not been wrestling as long as Piper Niven has, and they equally made each other look good. There was no sloppiness on the execution of her moves, and they were all done gracefully.
And
she put Piper over, and Piper put her over. That is a good match. So how is that not a good match to you? Because it didn't go 15 minutes?
I just didn't think it was good. I did not think it was
if you're in bed with a woman, or if you go 15 minutes or you go 2, if she got hers, then you did your job. I guarantee you, she said it was 2 minutes, blew her mind, than 15 minutes of wasting her time.
I know what Dan needed. Dan needed more Aubrey Edwards in order to make that match.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Overselling.
Stop it.
More overselling than Aubrey Edwards. And I love me some Aubrey Edwards.
Stop it.
I do love Aubrey Edwards, but yeah.
What? Got it.
No, this was not. This was I think the worst part of the night.
Elvis, you know what? I'm gonna let EC handle this one. Go ahead.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you.
Look who said it. It's Elvis.
Hold up, Dan just said okay. Oh, the AEW guy. The AEW guy. Okay.
No. Listen, I don't think Jade's trash. I think everything about Jade is fantastic until it comes to in-ring work.
I thought she did fine. This was the best.
I like her stinger splash, DC.
The best bicycle kick she's ever did, where it didn't look like she killed somebody. Like, it was just very, very well done. Most of her bicycle kicks, I'm like, oh wow, that was a little low. You know what I'm saying? A little too forceful. She hit it right there on the money. Even freaking what's her name? The woman Chelsea Green was good outside. Right. It was just a fantastic match.
Great.
Chelsea Green was looking good too.
Oh yes, she was. I love me some Chelsea Green. She's got
Chelsea Green. Right, Cap? It's always Elvis, man. It's always Elvis. He lives in Colorado. I want him to get so high. He's short. So I want him to get so high he floats over into the atmosphere and nobody ever sees or hears from him again. For some reason, he always finds his way in our chat. I never understood why. He's just dumb.
I will say that I do love me some Chelsea Green.
I
only got a small. First of all, I am irritated with SmackDown because I only got a small dosage of Pamela Martinez.
Oh, here we go. You knew that was just to show her on screen, right? Because they had so many vignettes.
They showed the wrong side of Bayley on screen is the problem. If you're going to give me my champion,
welcome to the SmackDown.
Give me my champion. Give me my champion. And for those of you in the chat, because we are talking about Bayley, let me take this off real quick. Let me take this off because we're talking. Jay's on the screen. We're talking about Bayley.
Here we go.
Because we are talking about Bayley, and I only got 45 seconds of Bayley, in which some men that it would be.
Oh, heaven. Here we go.
2 pumps and a grind.
Oh boy.
He's speaking for himself.
We love you, Pamela Martinez.
When she loses to Tiffany Stratton, it'll be the happiest day of my life.
Oh, tell him, EC. Tell him.
Actually, it could be Nia Jax, but she's losing to one of them.
Stop it.
Listen, this match was really good.
Oh, and then she did that Blue Thunder bomb. Come on, damn.
I thought she was about to break her back, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, she almost broke her neck. This is the problem with big fat wrestlers, man. They got no regard for smaller wrestlers.
Calm down, Vinny.
They got no regard for smaller wrestlers. They really don't. Oh, she was
calm down, Vinny. Calm down.
That's the problem with big fat wrestlers.
Listen, I know she almost caught a hernia with this one, boy.
You saw how quickly she
had. Hey guys, you see this?
Look at her face.
This fat piece of shit in here, guys. Did you see that?
She had to drop her quick on this one. You know, she always usually holds him up there for a little bit. My back. She said she had him up there. She said my neck, my back, and then she had to drop him real quick. She couldn't even finish the song.
The dopest pin in wrestling. Oh, so beautiful.
She is so beautiful. Never took a bad picture. Look at that shit. Great. And Piper looks like she's in heaven.
like Shayna Baszler being those live events.
Episode. What are we doing here?
I'll tell you what we're about to do. Before we finish up, we're about to take a small break really quick.
Be frank.
Yeah, if you're going to be Frank, I'm going to be Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the SmackDown Penitentiary. I got Dan the Man from AEW's Dynamite Review Show. Let's take a look at a clip.
We got a backstage interview here.
Renee Paquette.
When is it not Renee? Mind you, I have zero wrong with Renee. I mean, listen, all you guys out there know, you've been watching me, been watching us. I don't not like Renee. I just think she's overused.
I mean, every match has her afterwards.
Every
single.
Can we do Cactus Katie segments? Like backstage with Cactus Katie.
We're going backstage with Cactus Katie, aka the Batgirl.
I may have to change my background for that one.
Can you change your background, please?
I don't know.
You have like a bat cave or like.
Are you in Mexico? What are you doing?
No, Israel.
Oh, this is Israel.
Yeah, I don't know how to change it.
Do you have the 50 Shades of Grey background?
No, that's just my normal background.
Oh!
I love this one. Last time Dan was like this was when you and Jack and Shay was reviewing Collision and Shay's on kept beeping. You're damn right. You're damn right. Because you know what? I don't need to hear a little beep, beep, beep.
Hey, did the roles reverse from last week? Are you lit and I'm not?
Oh, maybe, Vincent, maybe.
Finally, somebody else besides me gets lit.
Let's go. Got my blood pressure going through the roof right now. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that was a commercial from a previous SmackDown episode with Venomous Vinny and Dan the Drunk.
Dynamite, not
you could
SmackDown.
tell, whatever.
Oh, whatever.
You can tell you were drunk. You're like, maybe, Vincent, maybe. Double time, Dan.
Now, in which we are just about to finish up the night of SmackDown.
This is perfect for ending.
By the way, you guys in the chat, we appreciate you. Thank you. You guys are really dope. It makes it so easy to do this thing every single week because you guys keep the chat rolling. So I just want to say that I do appreciate you guys very, very much. Moving on to the
Hornswoggle's better than you. He does the short thing better.
We get Angelo Dawkins, who's the replacement for the quote-unquote injured Bobby Lashley. Again, I'm sticking with my belief that Bobby Lashley is not.
That's not the best picture,
he's going against Tama Tonga. You couldn't put Montez in this position. Right, you couldn't put Bobby in this position. You had to put Dawkins in it, and it sucks.
It does suck because I would see here and I would brag on him, but I think he's a really good talent. I really do.
I thought this was a really good showing. I thought it was not a good match. I thought it was a good showing by both Dawkins and Tama Tonga because this was Tama Tonga's SmackDown debut match. So obviously he was not going to lose, but to have him put over, have him go over a powerhouse like Bobby Lashley just would have been highway robbery, and they've just been doing Lashley dirty, so filthy, and I'm glad that he's not really in the tournament. But this is Shay. This is you are in the penitentiary, locked down.
She's in the penitentiary. Awesome. She's in the signature for the show. Like, come on. Of course, it's a safe space. I just want to talk about that. That
his theme was, his theme was giving me a headache, bro. That little.
I just like the fire.
No.
Oh, I thought his intro was pretty dope.
We all know that Solo really did not talk to Roman, right? We do know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The funny part about this is when he looks back at Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman is like, I got my one up too. Paul Heyman is selling this group, quite frankly. I mean, the group is good, they're talented, but let's be real, let's be frank. Of course, they don't have the star power of when Roman was, and that's no knock to them because they're still good. But realistically speaking, Roman, the Usos with Solo and Sami was the peak of the bloodline. Paul sticking around and making Solo look like he's the peak. It is the peak of the bloodline, yeah. Well, just one more time. What is the peak of the bloodline?
Roman, the Usos, Sami, and Solo.
Okay, I thought you meant I thought you said a situation. Okay.
Survivor Series 2022 was the peak of the bloodline as a faction.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah. Okay, I agree. I could agree with that. If you put
them up against this pales in comparison, but it still looks strong. One, because Solo is making it strong because he is the way he is. Two, adding the new blood, new fresh blood is good. and Paul selling it to make him seem like, oh my God, they're more out of control and more dangerous. Paul is so good. That's why he's a Hall of Famer at selling things, even just by facial expressions, which I say is always important in the world of wrestling, and what he says. Every time he's looking around at Solo, he looks scared as hell, frightened at what this man and what these two people are capable of doing. That is what makes them look dangerous. That's why I don't think they're going to be in the finals against one Gunther, because they have to remain looking dangerous. Somehow, Randy Orton has to cross them out of the, with help, has to cross them out of the tournament.
And Shay here taking advantage.
Montez, go ahead.
She's taking advantage of our safe space here and saying that Montez outshined everyone out there, in which he didn't even do much, that which proves star power, right?
It's his charisma. He's very good with it.
He's very good with
something
it.
holding
But
him
at
back
this
that they don't
point
wanna
in
push him.
time, I was. You were there. We were there. Telepathically, was there. Is it too late at this point in time to pull to pull it on Montez being a singles guy now at this point? Because I feel like we've been wanting this. Pause. No Diddy, and we're not getting it. But we're also not getting any importance of the character arc of the prophets, right? Like they're stagnant. The alliance with Bobby Lashley kind of reinvigorated them. I use that word like 3 times today. That must be the word of the day. Word of the day is reinvigorated. And then it was just nothing. So what is the disconnect with the Prophets, Montez being a solo star, the inclusion of Bobby Lashley associated with them? What do you think it is that, for whatever reason, none of this is like, it's not linking up? What do you think? Anybody?
I was going to let him go first, but he's struggling. So I'll say it. I, in my personal opinion, I think they kind of missed the opportunity, but they don't want to pull the trigger. I think DC said it best in the comments. At this point, you just need to wait a little longer. It's not his time. If you put him as the single stars right now, he's just going to take a lot of L's because of the roster being so strong. And we mentioned it earlier, they're very babyface heavy right now. Montez is a babyface.
Extremely.
Not saying he can't be a heel, but if he changes right now, he will be most likely a babyface. If they don't split up amicably, Angelo Dawkins will be a heel.
Right, so, and I think that's how you have to do it.
Yeah. I would just wait. I will wait a while with Montez. He and I would say the Street Profits and Bobby need to look a little stronger than they have been lately. That faction only looks strong because of Bobby. Bobby goes out there and usually wins most of his matches. Even he's taken a couple L's, but wins most of the matches. But Street Profits been losing like all the important matches. So yeah, like it's really crazy. You'll forget the fact that they are a triple threat tag team champions. They won the Raw, SmackDown, and tag team titles. Put on a lot of bangers, but they've been just taking L after L after L.
Yeah,
I think they needed the mean streak tease that we remember when they first were trying to get a line with Bobby and they lost, and Bobby was like, "I'm done with y'all. Like I don't even want to try this shit."
Right.
And then they magically won like the next match, and then all of a sudden come back. Like they should have had Bobby take that mean streak. But if I'm not mistaken, didn't somebody get hurt and they had to pause that tweener turn because
they stopped it?
No. Is this a safe space?
Exactly,
Can I say something that may be controversial to some? I'm gonna say it. I would say it. The reason why they failed is because of Bobby Lashley himself. Right? They were a heel. There you go. I love it. Look, it's the truth. Hear me out, Z. They were a heel team, right? They tried to go out there as a heel team. They were attacking people. They changed the Street Profits music and everything like that. But every time, I used to comment on it every single week, Bobby Lashley would brag on him or rag on him. And like, oh, you need to do this. Don't care about what anybody thinks. And then Bobby Lashley would come out and he would still do this thing here. He would still be slapping hands with fans and stuff, acting like a babyface. Fans didn't know what to do. They loved Bobby so much. They couldn't go against the Street Profits. They couldn't take him seriously as turning heel because Bobby was still acting like the face. If Bobby went out there and just beat up Rey Mysterio, which is the best way to turn heel, everything would have been fine. But he didn't do it.
I'm going to tell you where you're wrong.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
Because when they started that whole tweener thing and what you were referring to,
Mm-hmm.
I initially said what 45 seconds ago was because somebody got hurt and they needed to change them back. It wasn't that. It was the alignment of AOP with Karrion Kross, because remember the Final Testament came out of nowhere and attacked Bobby for literally nothing, which instantly turned him from a tweener to a face. That's what it was. So
I'm still waiting for you to tell me why I'm wrong. He says it right here.
you were wrong. I just said it.
Bobby
You were
was
wrong.
a face tweener, bad booking. He never truly turned heel. They acted like
he was on the verge.
And then when Final Testament came around, they just said, "Fuck it, we give up." And the street, next thing you know, after the Street Profits came out with this heel music that was shitty like everything else, all of a sudden now, bum 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 bum, and they're back to the loving people. And now they got Bobby out there doing this with them too. Yeah, Street Profits, yeah. Then they got what's the woman that can't wrestle?
B-Fab.
Yeah, B-Fab out there doing a cheerleading thing. B-Fab is so bad in the ring, they didn't even let her be at ringside last night for the match. It's just
they didn't let her be outside because it wasn't no need for why she didn't be out there. Montez was the one supposed to take the hit.
Went to the back with her, I would have been like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But no, Montez still came out. She was like, "Oh no, y'all got it." I would just be a distraction because I can't even do a proper kick. So just understand what's going on. You gotta stay woke, gentlemen. You gotta stay woke.
Oh God, stay woke. You're one bean pie away from making me throw up. Listen, I
gotta mute myself.
I beg to differ, Shay. I think that Bobby Lashley is very entertaining. However, I am a Bobby Lashley mark, but he is a good mouthpiece. Pause. And I know this from watching his run in TNA before he even got hooked up with MVP and the Beatdown Clan. He does do pretty good mic work. I don't know why it hasn't translated very much in WWE. Like, I don't think that he needs to grab a microphone to talk, right? But I did enjoy his interactions with Brock Lesnar, even though the matches were very lackluster.
They were okay.
They were okay, but they weren't
okay.
what
they weren't horrible.
Listening to Bobby hype that so much on internet and radio interviews, it was definitely underwhelming. But the inclusion of Roman Reigns in that one match, when he just Roman Reigns single-handedly turned the match into trash because he just looked at the belt and tossed it.
Yeah, and that's why I was surprised they combined the championships, because I was at that Royal Rumble was the one in San Antonio. I was there, and after he hit him, he just looked at the belt like, "Get this fucking piece of trash!
Yeah, get this shit out of my face!" Like he immediately just shitted on the whole match.
Get out! You're number two. Go to the number two table.
Number two table. We have you now. So I left this here because have you noticed? And maybe I'll have to go back and watch, but I particularly think that when the ones are thrown up, right? Paul Heyman always has the same hand thrown up. It's always the right. But ever since Solo, he's always been doing the left. Have you guys noticed that?
I have not noticed that. That's a good observation, and trust me, Paul Heyman does not do anything unintentionally. So that is a very good notice that you did. I gotta go back and look at that now.
Yeah, I know. I want to see what he does. What he does when the Rock was putting up the L.
You know what? Nothing ever came about that too. Everybody swore the Rock was just going to turn on Rock and stuff like that. I mean on Roman because of the L. And I think Rock was just still stupid. He forgot that it wasn't.
I mean, you take a drink with the pinky up. Sometimes you don't know that the pinky's up. You just do it. It's just there. So But this was a good showing from Tama Tonga. Dan the man, you've been a little quiet.
That finisher was complete ass.
He's watching AEW. Right?
I am watching AEW right now because I have to watch some real wrestling right now. So I can after entertainment I just went through. No, man, no. That Tama finish. Oh, no, that finish was so bad. Go on. You're almost there to the finish. Oh, yeah, be careful. Gotta be careful.
Montez was like, "Here, take this help."
This part, okay.
Yeah,
So
there. Hold on. You're almost there. I think we're right about there.
Dawkins
There it
held
is.
him. Like
It didn't even.
froze. He froze
Yeah.
in the middle of
What
the
was
air.
that?
Like, he literally just
What was
It was what's the move called? Finn Balor does it.
dog shit? That's what it's called.
No,
What was that?
No. It's
Talking about the
um,
sling blade.
no, that's not a sling blade. It's
I have to see it. I don't know. I can't remember.
it's the move. Actually, you know what? Liv Morgan does it, but she does it from the second rope.
Yeah,
that
she
thing.
does the Oblivion. So you talking about the flatliner?
Yeah. Flatliner.
basically.
No, flatliner. No, well, it's a jumping flatliner if you want to. basically what
Shelton
it
Benjamin. They gave it all the black people for a while. They did. Shelton Benjamin
They
did.
did,
And then
they
I think
did.
he left,
He's
and
right.
then they gave it to R-Truth, and then MVP
Yes.
was doing it for a while.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
They were giving it to
That's
all the black
exactly
people
what it
to piss me
was.
off.
That's exactly what it was. He froze and look, he just froze right there. He froze. Like, I don't see
Angelo
what
was, at this. It was at this moment Angelo was trying to think about what his post WWE career was going to look like.
I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was.
Oh
that
no.
bad.
When
Pay
Montez
dirt.
breaks up,
Pay
with him,
dirt. Yes. Dolph Ziggler
There
did
you
that.
go.
Yeah, that's what they call it for Dolph Ziggler. Pay dirt. Yes. Thank you, Jeffrey.
No. Dolph Ziggler never did pay dirt.
He
Dolph Ziggler wasn't
did.
black. No. He did the zigzag from behind.
From
He never did pay
behind.
dirt.
Pause. He's done that from the front before.
He's never done. No, because as much as Dolph Ziggler was on Wild and Out, he never got his black card. I'm telling you.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah, we was on Wild and Out. He was standing back like, oh, so this is what happens at the barbecues.
Yeah.
All right.
The only person I seen do well in Wild and Out was that looked comfortable was Carmelo. That was it.
The New Day was pretty.
Because
New Day was good. Usos was trash.
New Day's invited to the cookout, so New Day was.
Usos was trash.
Usos disappointed me.
Again, Dan, listen, they threw a couple shots at Naomi. They did not like that.
To cookout because he's my friend.
I would say I thought the finish was okay. It's
Okay.
No, I'm not, but it's a DQ. It's a DQ finish. What are you expecting, Dan? Are you like it's either he's distracted to try to help his partner, and what are you expecting? Like I don't know. What do you want, a 5-course meal here?
I do want a 5-course meal.
No, you take the cheap victory. He's a heel.
I barely got an appetizer out of this.
All right.
I don't know who did Finn
I'm
Balor.
gonna need to know what your level of enjoyment of wrestling is, because you cannot sit here and tell me that this was a terrible finish, and then we got shit that you watch on AEW, and
you need a pile driver that somebody gets up from 5 seconds.
100%.
You need 3 pile drivers. 3 pile drivers for somebody that's 120 pounds and he no sells it.
Yes,
everybody levels
that's
up
what we
after
need.
each big
not
move.
not just that. I need you to RVD it to where you pop back up on your feet as soon as you got it.
What does RVD pop up? Not with a 5-star false splash. He always looks like he's more hurt than the person he hits it with. Every time. RVD versus Logan Paul today will be a banger match. RVD Prime versus Logan Paul today will be a fire match.
It would be. That would be.
Logan Paul is great.
Logan Paul is great.
Unless you're
I would
Ronda
say, in which
it wasn't a bad match. It just that finish just had me like, ugh.
Moving on to the main event of the night, we get a WrestleMania 35.
There you go. There you go. 100%. That's it. It wasn't the Tokyo Dome, so we can't even put it on the rating scale.
I would take that wherever that place was in France over the Tokyo Dome any day of the week.
No.
Yes.
No. Listen, that crowd was annoying. That crowd was so annoying.
They were definitely annoying, but they showed America how you're supposed to chant.
Oh, they were live. No, they
in America. America had one job to do. You had the whole weekend to watch how they did things, and you supposed to show them up, and you did none of that.
They didn't attempt to help out Naomi during her entrance.
Man, I could have swore. I'm listening for it. I'm like, yeah, they about to give it a fist pump and everything.
How hard is it to go?
And the
And then they
motherfucker
went to the
said,
bathroom
no.
They didn't do that. They didn't sing Randy Orton's interest. They tried. And then Corey Graves is the best commentary I ever heard of trying to cover up shit. Right?
Pat McAfee will definitely make that shit obvious. Oh wow, I don't know what's going on here.
Pat McAfee calls it up on air. Like I remember when Damian Priest was on Raw, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll never join your show again, Dice, because I do too much." But it's like Damian Priest was like, "All rise for the Judgment Day," and then Pat McAfee said, "I see a lot of people sitting down." Right? That's your world champion right there. That's your world champion. When I went to Raw and they announced Dirty Dom Mysterio, everybody got on their fucking feet when Dirty Dom was coming out just to boo that man. That's heat. That is a reaction. Damian Priest doesn't have it.
Orton has a interview with Byron backstage, and focusing on the King of the Ring.
He puts the worst pauses.
Yeah, for real.
I'm trying to concentrate on talking right now. This is why we need a backstage producer to do this shit.
He thinks the worst. I'm sorry. I'm muted myself.
Yo, you need to pause it just on that and leave it there.
Okay.
Hey, and somebody needs to record this episode for all the faces you make while taking a shit in the bathroom, because Randy Orton is right.
So Orton basically says that winning the King of the Ring is something he's never done. I don't even remember if he's ever been in a King of the Ring tournament. For some people, some people it just doesn't. Has Batista ever been in a King of the Ring tournament?
I don't think so.
He has not.
Like some people, it just doesn't fit their scheme, their character. I don't know, but I just don't remember Orton being in one. So as we were saying earlier, I wouldn't mind Orton just getting this accolade. But he doesn't need it. He's already a Hall of Famer. Arguably one of the greatest of all time, if not 2-3 of the 2000s. Like it's not many that's above him. If it's one, it's John Cena. I personally think that Randy Orton has surpassed Triple H, but that's an unpopular take.
The bold statement.
It is a bold statement, and I would love for anybody to check me on that. He then comes back and says that he hasn't forgotten about Tama Tonga, and he wants that bracket to line up for them, in which we discussed earlier. I still don't know if it does. It's so hard to pause. It's so hard to judge if that is going to happen.
It will, because if you notice Orton, especially over the last 4 years or so, he's just about putting over that younger generation, and I think he does it so well. Makes everybody look good. He does not have to do the stuff he does, and he does. So
I agree. That is a really good point.
Where's that bracket again?
What's that?
Where's that bracket? So we could see if they end up actually being able to.
Let me see here. There we go. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, that's not happening, boy. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Orton has to go through Carmelo Hayes, and Tonga has to go through, I'm going to say, LA Knight.
Oh, without question, LA Knight. Ain't no way LA losing to Santos.
LA Knight's gonna end up winning that.
You said that like you're unsure.
No, LA Knight's winning that.
LA Knight's losing no Santos Escobar.
No. But LA Knight against Tama Tonga?
Yeah. And I can see Tama Tonga.
Bro.
I see Tama Tonga picking up that victory.
If you want to continue to get the bloodline over, you have to have them look strong. Having Tonga lose to LA Knight does not do that. No. In which it would be his second match. The bloodline are going to screw. They're going to screw over LA Knight, in which they haven't.
It's going to be the La Fantasma, whatever you call him, Legado del Fantasma. They already started a feud, so they're going to
Well,
continue it
yeah, that could work as well. But
because
I
you need
also
something for
think
LA Knight to do. So his
Yeah,
feud
but
was, and Santos no longer is feuding with Ray because Ray's on Raw, so he needs something to do too. This is an easy fix.
so we're just gonna come to the conclusion that Orton and Tonga is the final for SmackDown.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there will be Orton and I'm thinking Gunther.
Or Jay. But it's gonna be Gunther. No, it's gonna be
I
Gunther.
can see it being Jay and Tongo.
Yeah, I see. I think Jay and Tonga would be, but I also see Gunther
That would be
winning the whole
nice.
The
thing.
Jay and
problem is a
Tonga.
lot of these wrestlers were mentioning were like, well, how can they take the L and still look strong? And that's what they're in for right now. And this is why we said they're in a good position to have, good bad position to have, because
Right.
I can't see Gunther losing again, especially after losing the Intercontinental
DQ?
Championship.
DQ?
Does Jay really need to take another L? But he's so hot right now, he's over no matter what he does.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter. He could stand in the middle of the ring eating a bowl of soup. It don't matter.
Yeah, all you have
Don't
to
ask
do
me
is
what
every
that
goat
means.
say yeet,
Yeah.
and he'll be over.
Yeah. So,
Jay and Tonga though sounds actually. I think that right there sounds like a good.
That
king of the
that
ring.
starts to build up to where everybody knows is eventually going to go.
I like Jay and Tonga.
the main event, we got Orton versus AJ Styles, WrestleMania
hype.
35 rematch.
WrestleMania
right?
35 and the old rivalry in general, these two have had a lot of matches together. People may
I've
not
not-
realize it. A lot.
Yeah, they've had. I had to look at cagematch.com to see how many one-on-ones they had. This is their 8th. This was their 8th match.
Yep.
One-on-one. But
They
they've been in
wrestled a
like
lot.
30 matches together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They love working with each other. And a part of me kind of feels like they said, let's just do this one more time. And I could tell even during the match, they put on a good match, but I could tell they were like, what can we try that we haven't done before? Because everybody always references their first match, which in my opinion was the best one, which ironically was also on SmackDown, where AJ was about to do the flying elbow. So I mean, you know what I'm saying, the forearm. And Randy acted like he was going to try
The
to catch him.
phenomenal
but fell.
form.
Yeah, and then Randy was going to try to catch him and he fell. And then AJ was like, yeah, I caught you. And then he flipped and got RKO'd. That was a great time.
I think which was a good spot was the finish. Styles is going for the Styles Clash and he yells out, "Kick me!" Right? Then Orton just like pops up out of nowhere, boom, RKO, it's done. Like it's that quick. And even though it's something really simple, I think that this character of AJ Styles with the Lone Wolf is really great because he turned his back on the OC. But I think all this losing is going to make him realize that he shouldn't have turned his back on the OC. And he's going to go back. So I am all for it. I was not for it at first because of all the losing. I think I like heel AJ when he's winning because he's obnoxious. But I do like this iteration. God damn it. That's 4. Of AJ Styles. Orton picks up the dub. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know who was going to win this match when I looked at the bracket at first. It was a good match. About 15, 17 minutes. They started the match at like 9:30.
Oh, no.
I
They
believe.
started the beginning of the match with the entrances, but Randy, for some reason, they tell Randy to go out there and kill a whole segment every single time that he comes out for a match.
He's signing signs. Like,
did you see the way I wanted to say something to chat. Did y'all see the way he signed that little kid's sign? He wasn't even looking. He was just screaming.
and then he put the cap on. He puts the cap on. He's like, yeah.
There you go.
Like, and the little kid's looking up at his face. He's not even looking at the kid no more.
He didn't look at him. Except when he did give him a fist bump, but he's just not looking at the kid. But that's how he does his entrances now. I noticed they were always not short; they were always kind of long, but they're even lengthier now. But I think they do that to tell him to kill time. I really do.
I would say that it's hard to when you have good workers, 2 of the best workers I've ever seen in the business.
ever.
It's hard to say who carried the match or who had a better execution of moves, or because then you kind of have to go and break down the small tidbits of the mannerisms, right? Like Cody and AJ Styles was really, really good, and AJ being one of the best wrestlers ever, Cody Rhodes kept up with him really good. But what made that match super good and super entertaining was the mannerisms and the head games of Cody Rhodes when he did the little cartwheel and did the Stardust thing. I'm like, okay, that was pretty dope. That was pretty genius, right? And like they did references back to their old matches and being ready for whatever each other were going to do, right? So like he was going to go for the phenomenal forearm. Nope, he was about to catch an RKO. He had to cancel it. So they both had to cancel out what they were going to cancel. I thought it was pretty dope in the whole night. So good match in my opinion. Great match. Actually, it was a great match. It was a great match to end the week of WWE television. Dan the Man, your thoughts? Was this finish good for you? You're muted.
This was your star power right here on SmackDown. You had two goats going at it, duking it out for, I just can't believe this was the first round in the tournament, but I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. It put on a little banger for SmackDown. It gets the people hype. It gets them going. You got to get the people going. Sends them home happy.
Get the people going.
Get the people going, man. AJ has to do a little bit of a rejuvenation of the character at this point, and Orton is kind of on his, I would say, we're nearing the swan song. So this was, this was a good match.
Swan song. He just announced he wanted to wrestle for at least 6 more years.
Yeah, it just has to be something. Orton just coasting right now, and he's not a bad coasting, because there was a period of time where Orton, he coasted, and you could tell he just mailed it in. He didn't give a shit about wrestling.
No,
right? And that was before, I believe he spoke about in his one of his documentaries. It was before he became a dad, and he was he kind of mailed it in. But when he became a father, he got rejuvenated. I wasn't gonna say it. Rejuvenated. I was about to say the other word I've been saying all day, but
what word?
he got rejuvenated, and that kind of turned his whole style. And I think when fans agree, when Orton has something, a feud that he can sink his teeth into, pause, and he can really care about, it's some of the best work that he ever does.
Mm-hmm.
So right now he doesn't really. I think this borderline stuff that he has with the bloodline is really good, but it's a very, very slow burn. Once they actually give him the whole feud to really do it, and which, if you noticed, he really hasn't had a full. He hasn't had a feud. He really hasn't had a feud. They inserted him in the Fatal 4-Way, but he hasn't had a feud.
He was supposed to have a feud with Roman, and I mean, honestly, I think he's done a fantastic job since he's come back. He's having fun, which he had with Matt Riddle, with RK Bro, and he's just enjoying himself. And he really picks out his feuds that he wants to do and who he works with at this point. He has that capability now because he's been in the company so long. He has that stroke. I just think Randy's incredible. It took a while for me to really like him, but I'm glad that he's at this point where he is at, and putting on some great matches. And he's not like he does not go out there completely crazy in these matches. He does enough to make you sink in and enjoy his matches. And I remember he used to always talk about that. He said, I don't need to go out there, and I'm not doing this as a dig to anybody who wrestles in AEW or anything else, but he doesn't go out there and do 5,000 flips. He knows how to do storytelling in the ring. Very few people are better than him in that. That's why I agree with Dice when he said it's hard to say who was really like calling the match, so to speak, between him and AJ, because these are two people who are the best at what they do.
Yep.
And I don't know, because AJ's older than Randy, right? Both of these
by like a year.
Yeah,
they're close. They're close in age.
They're close. I think they're like 4 years apart. But realistically speaking,
AJ's like 46. What is Orton? 42?
Orton's like 43. AJ's like 47. But AJ has also said that he's looking at retirement.
Yeah, that sucks. But at least he knows it.
Yeah, which is why I think this might have been their last match, quite frankly. I think they both requested, like, hey, let's do it this way. Because I don't see AJ being around here full time, especially 2 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And he should go while he's still that man, because he had a great match with Cody Rhodes. And before I finish saying what I want to say, my favorite match of the week, I just want to put it there because it's going to surprise a lot of people, was from Monday Night Raw. And it was actually Io Sky and Natalya. I love that match. I thought they put on a great match.
Interesting.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You gave Natty Neidhart some love?
I love Natty. She just loses a lot, and she's not interesting now in this day and age. She's not. But she had a fantastic match with Io Sky.
Huh.
Thank you.
Huh. I am what? With a tear in my eye.
Seconded by Jade Cargill and Piper Niven.
Thank you. You just gave
Absolutely fantastic.
Outside
he
the
gave
Backlash.
the boat.
If I include Backlash and AJ versus Cody was my favorite. Actually, I don't know, that tag team match and that triple threat. Backlash had some great matches.
I would say that my favorite match, it would have to be the Jade Cargill match. It was simple. It was straight to the point. Both of them looked.
Man to man.
Both of them looked. Both of them looked. Both of them looked strong. For once, Piper Niven actually took a strong loss, and it's okay to take a strong loss, right? So it deals with something with the evolution of characters. Apparently, I don't think that AEW fans really know what character development means. So maybe this is why this didn't hit too much for you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think we know when we have MJF, when we have guys like Swerve Strickland.
Oh, you mean Miz 2.0?
When we,
I'm sorry.
I mean,
sorry.
I mean, I'm just going on. I'm just going
Swerve
on.
Strickland is amazing, but he is right where he needs to be. If he ever wants to be a true world champion, he needed to do an AEW because he would never be a WWE world champion.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
he's about to lose because he's probably about to get rid of his Aiden English.
Really?
If you get my drift.
Are you talking about Nana?
Yep, that's his Aiden English. Nobody gave a crap about Rusev until Rusev Day was made.
I think Nana set him up.
Rusev Day until Aiden English came out and started singing Rusev Day. Then that's when everybody was on it. Everybody started really paying attention to Swerve when Nana did his dance. You take the dance away, I'm not sure he's going to be as popular. Great.
Wait, how does it go, Chris?
How does it go? The Nana dance?
Yeah.
He's at work. He's not gonna.
You want to see some actual seasoning as opposed to that salt shit y'all do on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Maybe all that beat. Swerve when I drive. Swerve when I drive. At the sub shop.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of shows here on Unpopular Review, and just to go through them, coming up next is the Mike Knox Show on Monday at 6 p.m. Then you have the Watch Along with Freckle Sensei and EC. NXT,
and
you got Evil Dose as well. My apologies. I thought he backed out. NXT, you have Barbara and her Rolodex of co-hosts, whoever that will be.
This week is Dan the Man. Dan the Man.
Oh, Dan. So Dan is the
agreed to
pimpy.
that.
Dan is the pimpy this week by Barbara. She's pimping. She's pimping co-hosts.
Playoff game. If you're going to playoff game, fine. But if not, yes. But the week after, it's
Barbara's pimping co-host, so we'll find out who's going to be her pimpy on NXT. and then what Mike likes to call AEW Dynamite Review Crew. White Boy Wasted Wednesdays with Dan the Man, Vinny LaSpada, and Cactus Katie.
That.
Thursdays, top 5 and specials. Top 5 for this week. Have not chosen one, but the King of the Ring one is the King of the Ring is the next one because that's the one that's right before the pay-per-view.
No, next week
so we have another week.
It's going to be the
predictions.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is correct. And then you can return here on Saturday for the SmackDown Penitentiary. And then I'll have another co-host as well as Vic is out of town traveling. So, any last words on SmackDown?
It might be Vinny.
Oh, that is going to be gold.
Tell me about this shit, guys.
I was trying to get it to be Cap, but she had to work, so you left out. It was supposed to be Captain.
I just can't wait to sit here and talk about WWE because, like, I don't do it enough on Wednesday.
He doesn't. You just got to mention something with AEW could come out with 2 AEW homegrown. It'll be Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander. You gonna really tell me that these two could actually wrestle? It's garbage. It's garbage.
All right, so let's so I will again I do agree with my grade of a B plus. I thought this night did I thought SmackDown did everything it was supposed to. Not great, but it was good. It was acceptable, and that's fine. If I have a good meal, I'm good. I'm satisfied. And I thought there wasn't anything that I didn't like about this. I thought everything had a purpose, and nothing was, what the was that? So as long as I don't have a what the was that moment, I'm pretty good. So, Dan, the AEW guy, what's the criteria here?
He's doing the AEW teeth grin.
Yeah, he's there.
That's how I felt when Kenny Omega came out and said, "Oh, I have diverticulitis. If something happens to me, the slightest thing, I'll die." Here comes EVP. I was like, "Oh, here it goes." Cue the most evil characters in life. Go ahead.
Man, I don't know, man. There wasn't much memorable about this episode of SmackDown. I'm in between a C plus and a B minus.
That's acceptable. It's acceptable.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it an A minus. And the only reason I'm going to give it an A, because honestly, I think it was a solid episode. It was not memorable. I agree with Dan. I will agree with Dan. Outside of some decent matches, more than decent matches, it wasn't really anything memorable, right? Nothing like a year now. I'll be like, you remember that time? Blah blah blah. But it was a solid episode with not many weaknesses. The only reason I'm going to get a minus from me is because I was not a fan with all the vignettes. And what I mean by that is the fact that they kept telling all these people that just are coming to SmackDown, and it just proves to me they are overcrowded. Even though they don't have enough heels, they are really overcrowded. I don't know what Andrade is going to do. So,
and Shinsuke Nakamura, dude, this guy is like literally the biggest like L eater in the face of the planet, and I'm supposed to be excited about homeboy.
Nakamura, they had DIY, and it reminds you the WWE Tag Team Champions weren't on tonight because it's like they have a lot of talent. But besides that, I thought it was a solid episode. I like to thank Dice for letting me come on and rant for a while about this because I was really bored at work. I've had 0 customers this whole time. Like I could do another show after this. Like that's thank God we're not on TV or anything like that. And somebody's like, "Why is he supposed to be working?" Well, ain't much to do, motherfucker. So yeah, thank you so much.
All right, once again, everybody in the chat, we appreciate you. Thank you stopping by. Your likes, your shares, your comments, they are all appreciated. Keep helping me in my case of why the penitentiary is the marquee show, not the fastest Roger show anymore. We are the marquee show. I just got to figure out what the hell Mike Knox is doing to get his numbers like that. I'm trying to see what that be like. But for Dan the Man, the executive consultant, I am the Z is silent. Everybody, please remember to live hard, love harder, love often. And as always, stay thirsty, my friends, or whatever they like to do, and somebody get drunk tonight.
Dos
Equis. That's what it is. Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
All right.
Yeah, have a good night.